Most entrepreneurs believe success requires 80-hour work weeks, but that is actually a trap that makes you a prisoner to your own company. If you don't build processes that function without you, your business will eventually collapse the moment you step away. Today, you will learn the core workflow mapping system to turn your daily chaos into a predictable machine. You might think you own a business, but if it stops the second you go on holiday, you actually just have a very demanding job. This is what we call the hustle trap, and it is the primary reason why most small businesses never scale. The alternative is systems thinking. A system is a repeatable process that produces consistent results regardless of who is doing the work. To start, we have to look at your workflows. A task is just one action, but a workflow is the entire series of steps that solves a customer's problem. For example, sending an invoice is a task, but billing and collections is the workflow. By mapping these out visually, you can see where the friction is. Let's look at your core processes right now. Think about it. Working harder just gets you more work. It's a straight line, 1 for 1. You put in an hour, you get an hour's worth of results. But building a system, that's exponential. You build it once, and it works for you again and again, freeing up your time while still delivering value. This is the shift from being an operator, stuck in the day-to-day grind, to being an owner who directs the machine. The hustle trap tells you that your personal effort is the most valuable asset. The truth is, your most valuable asset is a business that doesn't depend solely on your personal effort. So how do we start building that machine? We begin by seeing the whole picture, not just the individual pieces. Many business owners get lost in their to-do lists, which are filled with isolated tasks like reply to that email or post on social media, but a workflow connects all those tasks into a meaningful sequence. For instance, your new client onboarding workflow isn't just one email. It's the entire journey from the moment they say yes, to signing the contract, to the kickoff call, to their first successful milestone. A task is a single step. A workflow is the entire dance. Ask yourself, are you just focused on your next step, or do you see the whole dance floor? That's the difference we are talking about. Now let's get practical. Your business, no matter how complex it feels, likely runs on just a handful of core processes. These are the critical sequences that generate revenue and deliver your core product or service. I want you to grab a piece of paper or open a new document and list them out. We are aiming for somewhere between 5 and 12 key workflows. These could be things like lead generation, sales conversion, project delivery, customer support, and financial management. Don't overthink it. Just brainstorm the big picture activities that keep your business alive. Here's a quick thought experiment for you. If your client onboarding process completely stopped today, would you still have a business next month? If the answer is no, that's a core process. Pause the video and write down your list right now. Got your list? Great. Now, pick one of those core processes to start with. We are going to map its current state. This means documenting every single step exactly as it happens today, not how you wish it happened. You're being a journalist, not a novelist. Start at the very beginning of the workflow and ask, what happens next, for every single step? For example, in a content creation workflow, it might start with idea brainstorming, then keyword research, then drafting the script, then filming, and so on. Be specific. Also, make sure to note any decision points. These are the forks in the road, like does the client approve the draft? If yes, you move to the next step. If no, you go back to the revision step. This is how you start to see the hidden complexity and loops in your daily work. Once you have your workflow mapped out, it's time to play detective. We are looking for the bottlenecks. A bottleneck is any step in the process that slows everything else down. It's the traffic jam on your operational highway. Look at your map. Where do things get stuck? Are you constantly waiting for approvals at a certain stage? Is there one specific task that takes an unexpectedly long time to complete? Another thing to look for are rework loops. These are places where you have to go back and do something over again because of a mistake or miscommunication earlier in the process. For example, if your design team frequently has to redo work because the initial brief was unclear, that's a rework loop caused by a bottleneck in your briefing process. Spotting these is the first step to fixing them. Now you've got a list of problems. But which one should you fix first? Trying to fix everything at once is a recipe for overwhelm. Instead, we need to prioritize for the highest return on investment. A simple way to do this is with a 2x2 matrix. On one axis, you have impact. How much will fixing this improve the business? On the other axis, you have effort. How hard will it be to implement a fix? You want to find the problems that are high impact and low effort. These are your quick wins. Fixing a confusing step in your sales process that costs you customers is high impact. Creating a simple checklist to prevent common errors? That's low effort. Start there. By tackling the easiest, most impactful problems first, you'll build momentum and free up resources to tackle the bigger, more complex challenges later on. So let's bring it all together. We've talked about escaping the hustle trap by shifting to systems thinking. You learned the difference between a simple task and a comprehensive workflow. You identified your 5 to 12 core business processes, the ones that actually make you money. Then, you took one of those and mapped out its current state, warts and all, to find the bottlenecks and painful rework loops. Finally, you used a simple matrix to prioritize which problem to solve first for the biggest bang for your buck. This isn't just theory, this is a step-by-step plan. You now have a visual map of how your business operates and a clear target for your first improvement. This is how you begin to build a business that can truly run without your constant, hands-on intervention. It's how you get your life back. Thank you so much for watching. If you're ready to stop being a firefighter in your business and start being a true leader, hit that like button. And for more practical strategies on building a scalable, automated business, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.